the right person, downtown Colorado Springs is arguably one of the most desirable locations in all of Colorado Springs. But with downtown comes some unique challenges. As you know, I'm Sean, this is Crystal. Welcome back to the channel where we cover all the things Colorado Springs. So, Crystal, tell me, what do you think in your head, the number one thing that pops up when it comes to downtown Colorado Springs? Who is this going to be a right fit for?
Wow, that is such a great question. And I love this. We're helping a few different buyers right now purchase in downtown. So this is one of my favorite topics. But I think that if you are looking for that downtown area, you are probably someone who really wants walkability. Proximity to things, able to just go walk right into a restaurant, be able to hop on a sidewalk and walk around, go to different events and different companies, parks, bigger parks. And like we have Memorial Park down there. We have that one that starts with an A. I never know how to pronounce it.
Acacia Park's pretty cool because it has that skate rink in the wintertime.
Yeah. So I think that if that's something that's extremely important to you, that you either like work from home and you want to be able to have that accessibility to all these different places really fast, I think that's going to be kind of like a perfect spot for you. Or if you're just someone who really likes that feel of just being close.
Yeah, I think that downtown Colorado Springs fits all of those things. And if you are a nature lover, I mean, Colorado Springs has nature everywhere, but downtown Colorado Springs really captures that. And with the proximity, I feel like downtown Colorado Springs is probably one of the only places where if you really figured it out, you don't necessarily have to have a vehicle. I would still recommend you have it, especially because of our harsh winters and things like that. But during the spring and summertime, if you work from home and you just plan on going to the gym, the grocery store, restaurants, the coffee shop, things like that, you could easily get away with walking or riding your bike. If you wanted to take the downtown scooters, you could do that too. So walkability and proximity to things is absolutely huge in downtown Colorado Springs. Plus, I love the mom and pop shops. This is one of the areas where no matter where you go, you're going to have a unique experience. They have a few commercial things, your Taco Bell, your McDonald's, your whatever other commercial things are out there. But there is so many unique little places that you can go in downtown Springs.
Well, I think too, I could never be without a vehicle. Obviously, we're in real estate. And if you didn't know, Sean and I are your local real estate experts here in Colorado Springs area. So if you're relocating here, definitely give us a call. We would love to help you. But I don't think I could ever not have a car in Colorado Springs, even if I live downtown. Let's kind of chat about that, because if you do have a car and you are looking to purchase in downtown Colorado Springs, I think that that's kind of a big thing too, is that there's not a lot of parking. We do have parking garages. Like if I'm purchasing a house, like some of the houses that we've just sold in downtown, the parking was literally on a main street.
Yeah.
And because they're such older homes that they didn't have these big lots for like garages and parking actual spaces, a lot of it is just that front street parking. You could either really love that, or you could be someone, like for me, that's not something that I would be okay with. So I think if you're moving to and you want downtown, I think that that's something that you kind of have to take into consideration too, is that you're probably not going to get an attached 2-car garage in a lot of the houses.
I was just going to mention, there's a lot of the communities in Colorado Springs, whether you're close to Stetson Hills or you're in Banning Lewis, Cordera, Wolf Ranch, Meridian Ranch, the list goes on and on and on. But I would say that it is almost a staple that in any of those communities, you're going to have at least a 2-car garage, if not a 3 or even 4, or sometimes, if you're crazy lucky, even a 5-car garage. So
that
yes, if protecting your vehicle in a garage is important to you, that is definitely something that you're going to want to be very particular about in the downtown area, because like Crystal said, the street parking is a real deal thing. Sometimes they give you like a little street parking lane. Sometimes they do not. It really just depends on the area. Sometimes you have a driveway but no garage, or like a carport. It really just depends. But you can find a 2-car garage in downtown Colorado Springs. You just have to be a little bit particular with, and one of the other things that comes with that is the price too. If you're going to get a garage in downtown Colorado Springs, your house is probably going to be a little bit more expensive than if you don't have a garage.
Right, for sure. Well, and I think a lot of them too aren't attached. I think that they're more houses. And really, you guys, honestly, in old, and not in old downtown, but in downtown Colorado Springs, they're not your typical house. You're going to see more of like that Victorian cottage style feel. But with that, normally what will happen, what you'll see is like the house will be on this, and then later down, because what's the majority of the years that are down there, Sean? Is it like 1900s?
I mean, these houses are 100 years old. They were built in the like late 1800s and then into the early 1900s. So a lot of these homes are going to be 100 years old.
Right, which I absolutely love. I think we've talked about it before, to where if I could have like that old historic look and feel, but yet all modernized, that would be like the picture perfect house for me. But with that, the houses back then, they didn't build garages. It wasn't something that was really important or thought of. And so you'll have your house here, and then you'll see that like years and years and years later, like the seller decided to build on their land and put a garage. You'll see that a lot more, I think, than like seeing like a traditional newer home that if we were to like go show you new builds where it's an attached 2-car garage. And I think that that's super important to think about too, because if you're someone who is safety or like really want to feel secure about like walking from your garage into your house, you're probably not going to find that. You're going to have to like walk from the car from the street, through your front yard or in an alleyway of some sort.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point with like the age of the homes, and something else that came into mind. And it's funny because just this last week when I was showing one of the buyers that we have in the downtown Springs area, I saw this house that they sent me that they wanted to go see, and it was fully renovated. It was very new, very modern. And it was interesting. The price point was $350,000, but because of how modern it was, I felt immediately, I was like, they're probably going to like it, but it's not going to be the downtown vibe that they're looking for. And this house is well above average days on market. And so what comes to my head with that is exactly that. So we walked this house, and sure enough, it's a beautiful house. It's very modern, but it's lacking all of that historic charm. So these homes built in the 1900s, they're not really open concept. There's a lot of like rooms, and they're very small. Some of these houses are 500, 600, 700 square feet. So you're lucky to get like a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, and a lot of them with a living space and a kitchen. But with that, you'll have literally a room for your kitchen, a room for your living room, a hallway to the bedroom, to maybe the bathroom, to another bedroom, like a Jack and Jill style. Sometimes the bathroom is separate from that. But the layout of these homes is always pretty unique. And because they're so old, this is something I will warn you about. Structure is always going to be a concern. Now, it's not always a problem, but it is usually something that you are wanting to verify that it is in good standing condition still, which we can obviously refer you to one of our preferred partners to have that looked at if it hasn't already been looked at. But a lot of these homes, when you go into the crawl space underneath the home, it's like this. I always call it the creepy spot whenever we're showing downtown Springs houses. A lot of the times it's a dirt floor. A lot of the times this is where your hot water heater is. And you can see the foundation of the home with like cinder blocks. And sometimes you'll see just massive cracks going vertical, horizontal, sometimes both. Sometimes there's giant holes in the ground where the old boiler used to be. Like, there is so many things that could potentially go wrong. But these homes have been standing for 100 years and they were just built different back then. So even though a lot of them are cracked, they're not necessarily in danger of collapsing.
I was going to say, that's the one thing that I will say about older homes, you guys. When they built them back in the 1800s and the 1900s, they freaking did an amazing job. They weren't popping them up, 100 of them at a time. It was very, very selective and very, like, I say handmade, but you could tell that they just put so much time, the materials were so different back then. And when we look at those houses compared to, we've had new builds that have had foundation issues. We've had new builds that we've seen where they've flooded within 3 to 4 years. But then those older homes that were built in the 1800s, they've never had freaking issues at all. And so I think it's kind of one of those things where it's like a good and bad thing. It could be, that home could last for another, 200 years and never I won't say never have issues, but it's just crazy at the different type of craftsmanship that was done back then versus here. But that's also the great thing about living in downtown, right? Is that you get that really good foundation of a home. And you're right, they were built very different. They were all about just making sure that every room had a reason, a rhyme for it. Their rooms are a lot smaller. They didn't have, there's no storage. It's like they weren't pack rats back then. I think that that's kind of important too. Like when we talk about like who's going to be moving to downtown, if you have a ton of stuff, if you need like, a massive storage room, probably downtown's not going to be a good fit for you,
Yeah. Well, and you just hit the nail on the head, I think. You're trading the space for the location. There's houses in all the neighborhoods that I just mentioned earlier that are 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 square feet. Like they build big homes today for obviously expanding families. They have unfinished storage spaces with 1,000 square feet where you can put your decorations and your extra stuff, all these things. But yeah, in downtown, you're looking at these smaller homes, but they're all very unique, which is very cool. When you go into any of these neighborhoods, a lot of people will say it. They're very cookie cutter. They all look the same. You have to paint your house a certain color. You have to do this. You have to do that. There's HOAs, there's regulations, et cetera, et cetera. Downtown Colorado Springs has unique homes. It has that unique charm. And I think I said it last week, if not the week before, I feel like when people think of moving to Colorado Springs, this is what they're picturing. The proximity to nature, the walkability, the giant trees changing colors in the fall, the local shops, the mom and pop places. Like downtown Colorado Springs, I feel like really captures what Colorado Springs has to offer.
Yeah, and I will say this, our downtown, and we say this a lot, we say that we're, a small city, but a big city feel. But like if you go to Denver and you go downtown Denver, it is full of big corporate buildings, right? It's busy. There's traffic everywhere. It's all like, I absolutely despise you guys driving in Denver. One way is everywhere. You can't just go right or, it's a cluster. In Colorado Springs though, we do have one-way streets, but it's not filled with big corporate buildings. It's filled with that art shop. It's filled with
the museum.
Yeah. It has such a different feel and vibe. It's also where all the clubs are at. So if you guys want to go clubbing. And that does get kind of crazy, like late at night on the weekends with the clubs, but it's still not Denver. Like I've been to the Denver clubs and they're freaking ridiculous, like how crazy it gets. So that is one thing with when we say downtown, even like we went to Dallas downtown, right? That's a lot of really big corporate buildings, corporate shops. And it's just a very, very different feel when we say downtown.
Yeah. And while those are much bigger, much more corporate, I do have to say that I feel like in a lot of locations of downtown Colorado Springs, it can get a little bit noisy, especially if you are close to Tejon Street. Tejon Street's where all the clubs are at. There is construction that happens in downtown a lot just because it is so old. So they're constantly redoing the roads. They're putting up apartment buildings and condos and things like that to try to provide more living space for people. So it can get noisy downtown Colorado Springs. And a lot of these houses are on Pikes Peak, they're on Platte, they're on all these roads where traffic is flowing left and right all day long. So road noise is common. A lot of people like to ride their motorcycles downtown because it's slower, 25, 35 mile an hour speed limits in a lot of those places. So if you have someone that's done a little bit of work to their motorcycle and they're ramming, down the street, you're going to hear that noise. So I do think that you have to be a little bit flexible when it comes to road noise and noise in general, because while downtown isn't like super developing anymore, they're trying to do construction projects and things like that to maintain the character of downtown Colorado Springs. So just something to be on the watch for.
Well, and I think too, another big difference between, downtown living in general and then any of the other communities outside of that It's not going to give you like that same community feel. There's not going to be, like a community Easter egg hunt. However, downtown is where they host a lot of the city big events, right? So when they do events, when you go to an event, like we just had the St. Patrick's Day parade, huge. The whole
thousands.
Yeah, basically the whole downtown area shuts down, right? It's different. It's kind of, it's blown up because it's not just like a community event. It is the whole city event. And they do a ton of events in the parks. They do a ton of events downtown. They have Pride Fest downtown, which is a huge event. They have the
I love the Labor Day liftoff and the balloon glow. That is massive.
Yes. And so it's like, it's just a different feel, like when we host our Meridian Ranch events, like it's very much community, right? You see a bunch of you see your neighbors. When we have events downtown, you're not going to probably run into a neighbor there.
Unless you're me.
Unless you're Sean.
I'm the local. I've been here forever. So is Crystal, but I can't go anywhere in town without running into a friend. So they probably live 45 minutes away from me, and I haven't seen them in 5 years. But you better believe if I go to a community event, you're going to run into somebody there. You might run into me.
I was going to say, we joke about it all the time, and Sean is way more social than I am, believe it or not, but we cannot go anywhere without him running into someone here. And so it's absolutely crazy at that effect. But
you know what else is super fun downtown that we've never done are the bar crawls. Why have we never done that?
We haven't. we need to do that. But you know what? Like we have a really amazing small business here it's called the Locomotive, and I think we've talked about it a little bit before. And you guys all know us, so I feel like you guys know us because you guys watch us every week. But
if you don't know us, subscribe to the channel and you'll get to know us because we post new videos every week.
Exactly. But the Locomotive, they have a bus that takes you to different places, and they support small businesses too. And that's a lot of fun. We have done that. But anyway, back to downtown living.
All right. I think we hit all the major things, but I still have one question for you. I already have the answer in my head, so hopefully you don't pick the same one as me. But if you were in downtown Colorado Springs today, what is the one place you would say is a must visit for anyone that's out of town, or even people that are local that may not have spent so much time in downtown Colorado Springs? Where would you take them?
Oh, that's a really good question. I love the Famous, but I don't think that's like iconic for Colorado Springs.
It is delicious.
Yeah, very, very much so. But I think one of my favorite places is, and I always butch the names of everything, you guys, but what is it? Cody or Coyote? How do I say it?
Coyote?
Coyote. That is, we've been there multiple times on like different occasions. We've had work events there. I went there with the girls. Sean and I went there for date night, but it's a really cool kind of place that has a bunch of different like they're not restaurants. It's kind of like a food truck inside of the building. There are several different of them. And then there's a bar, it's like I don't know. It's like
words.
I know, I can't think of what it is. But they have all different levels of different things that you can kind of do. And they host a bunch of community events. And then at night, they do like karaoke and they do bands and they try to support local with a bunch of the stuff that they bring in. And it's just a really fun vibe. So I think kind of like, even if you're going with the kids, like the kids have a really good time. If you're going with someone, if you want to kind of have a taste of different food, I know that they have like ice cream and sushi and hamburgers and wings, and they have tacos. Yeah, there's just a little bit of kind of everything. So it's fun because you can go there, get an experience, and be able to taste a bunch of different food, which obviously I love a good cocktail and I love good food. So.
And one of the things about that place and many, many places in downtown Colorado Springs, which is pretty cool, is there's patio seating. Yeah. I know a lot of people, especially if you're downtown, you want to be walkable, you want to take your dog somewhere, like there is a ton of places downtown where they have patio seating where you can bring your pups. My pick, however, does not.
I was going to say, what are you thinking?
My pick it's pretty iconic, and you don't know unless you know. It's this place called Rabbit Hole, and if you don't know, it looks like a phone booth. Like you're walking down the street and you see a phone booth, you're like, oh, whatever, no big deal. It used to be a phone booth, and they have converted it into a underground restaurant. It's Alice in Wonderland themed, and it is just extremely unique to Colorado Springs. I think that when I think downtown iconic places to go, this restaurant is one of them. I was talking to the bartender the last time that I was there and asking her if they ever had regulars, and surprisingly, she said not really. They have a lot of people that are coming and going. They've heard about it. They want to experience what it's like, but it's a lot of people that are just visiting Colorado Springs for work and things like that. So it's not a very popular place for like the regular, it's not going to be your every Sunday kind of place. Tasty. I would say it's kind of unique. It is upscale, but it's not upscale. Like I wouldn't feel weird walking in with a V-neck t-shirt on.
No, but you do have to have reservations.
Yes, so, you do. Or you could sit at the bar top, but there's like 8.
I was going to say
maybe 10. It's pretty small.
And that's what that bartender was telling us too when we were there, is that because the bar area is so small, it doesn't attract a lot of regulars because there's not a lot of seating. And that is the thing. You do need reservations. You can get in as a walk-in, but I highly do not recommend taking that chance because more than likely it's going to be completely booked.
And for the good or for the bad, depending on who you are and what you think, they do change out the menu often. It doesn't change everything, but they do have different things that will cycle through. So if you find something and you absolutely love it and they get rid of it, you're going to be heartbroken. But if you're an adventurer and you like to try new things, this might be a spot that you like to go once every month or once every couple months to see what's new on the menu.
Their cocktails, you guys, their martinis are amazing though. They have a really, and I love that they have like a big selection. I'm a pretty like basic person when I stick to the same type of liquor, but they have all kinds of different amazing cocktails and they're fun and fruity or fun. And like some of them are super strong. It's it's kind of like a speakeasy setting too.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. That's a good one, Sean. It's definitely an experience. I'm not a big fan of a lot of the things on the menu. And so I don't think we go as much as, we've been a handful of times, but yeah. So that's a good one.
So there you have it. Downtown Colorado Springs is a great spot if you're looking for walkability, unique communities. It might not be so great if you're wanting to stay away from road noise or if you're looking for more community, smaller style events. So let us know in the comments below. Are you considering downtown Colorado Springs? Do you have questions, comments, or concerns that we can answer for you? If you do, you know how to reach us, 719-238-1771. And until next time, we will see you in the next video.